Hi everyone, it's Jeannie from the living room. I hope you're well in times of crisis. I hope that your physical health is still great, and I also hope that your mental health is well. And you probably heard this little song. It's called Every Little Cell in My Body is Happy, Every Little Cell in My Body is Well. So this is a great way of bringing a positive vibe to your day. It's a great way of bringing a positive wave to your cells, and I hope and I believe that most of you are well physically at this stage, and that mental health is a huge aspect of keeping your immunity well and of keeping your immunity up. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. So many of us are overwhelmed in these times, potentially of new roles that we're having, like educators, entertainers, parents, that we haven't been full-time for a long time. And especially for single moms, it's huge, you know, we're with our kids 24/7 every single day. And I have chosen to see this as an opportunity because my kids are growing older and will be attending school from here on onwards. And I appreciate the time that I get to spend with them, although I must say it's not always easy. And the way that I protect well and great mental health is by choosing healthy foods, by making sure that I get good sleep, making sure that what media and what information I consume in order to continue to stay well, because there's a lot of media out there that makes us feel really unsafe and really unwell. I, of course, do a lot of exercise still, and probably more so now, trying to get out with the kids, as it is, you know, a great opportunity. And the good thing is I see so many families now out on our normal exercise spot where the kids and I have been going for years, and, you know, people are spending time with their kids, and I hope that lots of healthy people are coming out of this. And you probably know that in our system we have a microbiome and a virome, and these two systems make up more matter inside of us as the actual body cells. Did you know that? I find that so fascinating. So we have more bacteria and more viruses in our body than we actually have human cells. So what does it mean now if we're so afraid of viruses and try to delete every virus and bacteria and germ away from us? So we're kind of deleting ourselves, we're deleting our immune system. You probably heard of the gut-brain connection. This is also really important to mental health. So make sure that you don't sanitize away your mental health in the next couple of weeks. I understand there is a lot of need for washing hands. I understand that when you go into public places that there is a potential need to sanitize your hand. So stay well, stay happy, but also connect with nature as it is, full of viruses, full of bacteria. Enjoy the living inside of yourself. And in this practice, this strong practice that I come with you, or that I'm going to bring you in just a couple of minutes, is all about releasing the body's response to fear. You might have felt in the last few days that your hips got a little bit tighter or your shoulders got a bit tighter. So we're working with this. It's going to be a strong practice. Stay tuned for a softer practice coming later on in the week. I love you all. Take care. I miss you. I hope you keep watching. Comment below, please comment below that you are doing these videos. That makes me excited and makes me want to make more videos. Okay, much love to you, and I see you on the mat. Hi everyone. We're going to start standing today. You might want to close your eyes and place your feet hip width apart right underneath your pelvis. Tuck your tailbone under it and draw your bottom rib in so you feel that strength and length within your body. Take a few breaths and feel how your breaths move your shoulders. Become aware of the in and out breath and how it feels energetically. Now lift your toes and gently place them back towards the ground without grabbing, just placing them down softly. Gently lift the inner arches of the feet and feel how your legs start to engage and you're pressing the heels down. Continue to feel the length throughout the spine and allowing your breath to come naturally through. You might bring your hands towards heart center. And connect with any thoughts and emotion that are within you right now. Breathe in towards your heart space. Widen your heart space. And breathe out from the heart as a gesture of giving what you have to give in this world. What do you need to receive on your in-breath? What are you receiving from the earth right now? What are you receiving from the sky right now? And what are you willing to let go back down towards the earth? For her to recycle and renourish the system as a whole. What's your intention today for the practice? Connect with your heart. Gently bow your head down towards your fingertips. Open your eyes gently. Release the hands by the side as you stand up tall. Engage your muscles in your legs and core. Rise the hands up. And then release the hands back down on your exhale. So take your in-breath as you rise your hands up. Keep your heart lifted. Drop the shoulders. Bring the gaze up. And on the exhale, release down. Let's do it one more time. An in-breath, ground to the feet so you feel you get that expansion through the whole body. And then release your hands by the side. Moving on, take a deep breath in, reach the hands up high. Interlace the fingers at the top, place the palms off so it looks like that. The palms of the hands up towards the ceiling and then gently bend to one side. Bend to the side, remain strong and long throughout the spine and press both feet equally in towards the ground. Maybe you look underneath the armpit, that's where the elbows is facing towards the ceiling. If you are compromising on this side, whether that is your right or your left, can you lengthen by pressing into that same side foot a bit more? Take 2 more breaths here. Oh my God, it's big, isn't it? Opening up here. And then come back towards the center. Hold the strength. Reset your core by shooting your tailbone down and gently move over towards the opposite side. So once again, if you are compressing on this side that you're leaning into, press into that foot more and open the top shoulder more. Take another deep breath in here, deep breath out. So allow your breath to open your rib cage, open your space for the lungs to bring air and your love and whatever you need in right now. And then come back towards the center, strong and long. And release the hands behind your hips. Looks like this. You interlace them. You might pull the shoulder blades back, pull the elbows back, and if you have the opportunity, extend the arms backwards. If this is not available for you, you could grab the opposite elbow, the opposite wrist, whatever works for you. And then from here, release the hands by the side and roll the shoulders. Let's move on from here. Keep your hips really stable and start to twist from your belly button as you bring one hand forward, one hand back. Your hips are not moving. Check that they're still parallel towards the front of the mat. Inhale, rise the hands up. Exhale, without moving the hips, reach one hand forward, one hand back. Inhale, coming back towards the center. Exhale, swap over. Inhale, twisting from the belly button. So you're hugging the belly button in. You engage your pelvic floor, keeping your hips stable. Beautiful. Then rise up again. And from here, what was I doing? Interlacing. Well, interlacing the fingers. So this is what we're doing. You can't see the top of my hands, but this is a pistol grip. So you interlace all fingers. Only the first finger goes straight up and towards the air. And this is one of my favorite movements related to chocolate. We're going to bend towards the side until we feel like we can't bend towards the side anymore. Keep your hips and legs straight. And then slowly let your pistol point down towards your feet. At the bottom of the exhale, you're down there. As you start to breathe in, you come back up on the other side in the largest circle that is available for you. And then we're going to come back to the side that we just came from. On the exhale, coming down. On the inhale, coming back up. Oh, isn't that delicious? Let's do it one more time. So coming down one way. Reaching up the other way. And then just where we came from, we're going back down on your exhale. And coming back up on the inhale. Delicious in the spine. Now reach your arms out towards the side, really wide. You might have your palms facing forward. Have a nice, comfortable stance. And then maybe bend your knees as you give yourself the biggest hug. Remember which elbow is on top. Curling the back of the heart in. And then open your chest once again. Maybe this becomes a slight back bend. You open the chest and then bring the other elbow on top. And give yourself the biggest hug. Love and compassion towards ourselves, hey? Have you been good towards yourself? Have you acknowledged that this is a time for you, the opportunity for you to really see what is working for you? Inhale, bringing the hands back up. Now clasp the hands at the small of the back. Lift and lengthen through your chest. I'm going to stand sideways so you can see. Bend your knees, draw your navel in, and let your torso and your head drop down. To increase the length in the neck, now pull the shoulder blades together and the fist up. And take a few moments here. If you want a little bit more, keeping your torso on the thighs, press your heels in towards the ground, lift the inner arches, and find that nice length through the hamstrings. Release the jaw, the shoulders, let it all go. God, it's so important, hey? If you're with your kids at all times, it's so nice to let go, a deep breath, let go, holding the head up high. By the way, my kids are beautifully in the room playing with their new guinea pigs. Take one more breath here. One more breath out. Release the hands down towards the ground. Lift up halfway to lengthen your spine. Roll the shoulder blades away from your ears. Check, is your spine long? And then fold forward with that length. Once again, bend your knees as you need it. Drop the head down, release the jaw. Now press in towards the feet. Rise with the strength and core. Drop the shoulders as you gaze and fingertips rise up. Exhale, release the hands by the side. Let's do this again. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, come through the center, drop and let it go. Lift up halfway to lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward once again. Press in towards the feet, rise up, core strength, drop shoulders, and release the hands by the side. Last one, rise up, fold, breathe out. Long through the spine as you inhale. Drop down with your heart as you exhale. Rise with strength to the core of the legs, ground to the earth. And then release your hands by the side. Well done, let's move on from here. I'm going to go to the front of the mat. If you're not there, meet me there. I have my feet close together. heels slightly apart. Follow me if that's comfortable. Rise the hands up high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Lift and lengthen through the chest. On the exhale, step back to a high plank. Let's meet straight away in a high plank. Hug the belly button in, pull the shoulder blades back, and then work in between protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. So you're either pushing really far away or you're dropping so that your shoulders are higher than your spine. Find a nice medium middle work here so that you're engaging the most muscles to keep that stable. Squeezing the inner thighs. If this gets too much, bring your knees down towards the ground. Hold it strong. Feel the strength inside yourself. Then from here, push back to downward facing dog. Have your feet hip-width apart. If you need to bend your knees to lengthen your spine, please go ahead, do that. Roll the shoulder blades away from your ears and then gently press one heel after the other towards the earth. Ground through the hands. I like to press my right hand and the left heel towards the earth, feeling that diagonal stretch, and then pressing the other hand, the left hand and the right foot down towards the earth, and then the hands and then the feet, and just feeling the way that it grounds and how I experience length in the body. Stay easy with your breath, nice and long. And then slowly come forward into a high plank, pulling the shoulder blades back, pressing the heels back. Easy option, knees come down towards the ground, the shoulder blades pull back, and you lower halfway down. So halfway means that the elbows stay in line with your shoulders, then bring your thighs and pubic bone towards the ground. Press the inner thighs together as you pull the shoulder blades backwards and lift your hands off the ground into baby cobra. On the exhale, tuck the toes under, push the buttocks back towards the heels and come back into a downward facing dog. Let's do the harder option. You can choose the easy option. So high plank. And then from here you come into a full chaturanga, so your knees are not touching the ground. Don't come lower with your elbows or with your shoulders than the elbows. And then engage your core to come into upward facing dog. On the exhale, push back, downward facing dog. So you may have not seen that in the video, but my knees are not on the ground. That will support that I'm engaging my core to protect my lower back and my spine. Please be aware of that. Take another deep breath in here, and deep breath out. Now lift your right leg up in the air, nice and long. You might press in towards the right hand and look underneath the right armpit, then bend your right knee, letting the right heel come towards the right buttocks and sending it up. Press your left heel towards the ground. Then extend the leg in the air behind you and hug it in, knee towards the nose. One more time, extend and lengthen behind you. And then hug the knee in, maybe bring the shoulders over the wrist, lift your knee as high as you can to step gently in between your hands. We're coming up to a high lunge. Beautiful. So here in the high lunge, can you press the back heel away and pull the right hip back? Engage your pelvic floor so you're lifting through the deep core muscles here. And then from here, I get you to straighten your front leg and bring your hands towards heart center. Keep the hips parallel towards the front of the mat. Now bend the front knee again and rise your hands up. Nice stretch here to the left hip flexors, right? And then pulling your right hip back to straighten your front leg. We've got this. Breathing up, inhale. Exhale, come on back. Well done. All right. Now we're going to stay in our lunge. The hands are coming up. Separate the hands and press the palms of the hands just like that up towards the ceiling. Really press both palms up. Take 3 soft, long breaths. Keep your tailbone shooting down towards the ground and engage your belly button back towards the spine to maintain length through there. Beautiful. Then place both hands down towards the ground. It would be potentially helpful to use a block on either side here. Pull your right hip back so much that you'll lengthen your front leg. Now reset the length in the spine. Acknowledge that the hips are parallel towards the front of the mat. And then drop down over the front leg and take 3 breaths. 2. And 1. Now bend your front knee a lot. Keep pulling the right hip back. Engage your pelvic floor. Charge to the back leg. Use your left hand on a block and reach the right hand up into a nice twist. You probably feel it through the outer hip now. Yeah. Keep charging to the back leg. Lift your pelvis a little bit higher if you need. The front knee bends. One more breath here. And then from here, place both hands down towards the ground and step back in towards your high plank. Here's your choice. Half chaturanga, which means your knees come down towards the ground. You lower halfway or full chaturanga. Make sure that the shoulders stay above the elbows. Baby cobra, as you lay your torso down, you pull the shoulder blades back and squeeze your inner thighs together, or upward facing dog. And then push back into downward facing dog. Find the same length. How do you ground? Do you do it diagonally? Do you just connect how your hands are connected towards the earth? Do you look at them? Do you reset the strength in the arms? What are your patterns of reviewing yourself? In order to acknowledge the patterns that you have, the patterns that you follow, and is it time, or is it a time for you to change those patterns as the world around you changes? So drastically, so dramatically right now. Now lift your left leg up. On the exhale, bend the knee and open up. Can you send your left hip high as you press your left hand towards the earth? Maybe look underneath the left arm. Hello. Press to the right heel. When my kids see me in this pose, they're like, oh, Mom, you've got such a red head. Maybe I do. Extend the leg in the air behind you. Hug the knee towards the nose and bring the shoulders over the wrist. Inhale, extend once more. Feel your core strength. Hug that leg in and step it through as gently as you can. And we're going to rise up into a high lunge. Particularly if you have lower back issues, make sure that you tuck the tailbone under here or lift the front of the pelvis up. Drop the shoulders as your hands rise. Yeah. Then from here, you might bring the hands together if your shoulders allow. Sink low in the back leg and the front leg. And keep pulling the left hip back. Now take an inhale. On the exhale, straighten the front leg, keeping the hips parallel towards the ground and the hands come towards the heart. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, coming back up. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, pull back. Okay, I might have gotten confused there a little bit with the breaths. Follow your breath. Follow your movement. Okay, from here we're going to bend our front knee now. Reach the hands up high. Press the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling and hold it here. Can you press your palms higher? Drop the shoulders, lift the heart, shoot your tailbone down. Maybe your gaze goes up. We're holding the world right now with the energy that we're bringing out from our heart. This is why it's so important that we're healthy and well in this world. Physically, emotionally, so that we can be there for our community. Alright, let's make it a little bit harder this time. Bring your hands towards your hips. Align your hips towards the front of the mat. And see if you can lean forward with your heart. Pull the left hip back. Charge to the back leg to give you balance. Bring your hands towards the ground or towards the block. Lift and lengthen through the chest once more and then drop the heart down for a forward fold. Let's do 3 breaths. Last breath. And bend your front knee. Have your right hand on a block. Keep pulling your left hip back. Charge to the right leg to come into this nice twist and take about 3 breaths here. 2. And 1. Now place both hands down towards the ground and step back to a high plank. Your choice, chaturanga or half chaturanga, lower down, lift your heart forward. Rolling over the toes and upward facing dog, my knees are not on the ground. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Ground. Ground with your breath. Open your heart by widening the shoulders and the collarbone. Send your tailbone high. Releasing any tension in the back of the legs. Let's bring some more heat into this practice. You're not hot enough. Come forward into a high plank. And then from here, lower halfway down. Listen, push up, bring the feet together and roll into the outside edge of the right foot and the right hand to reach the left hand up. Side plank. Come on down, lower down into half chaturanga and then push back up and come over towards the other side. Because it's so much fun, let's do it one more time. Lowering down, push up, rolling over the toes. Keep the hips up high as you're coming into side plank. Lowering down, push up, roll over, and lift the hand. Well done, guys. Let's come to a high plank like nothing has happened. Drop your knees down towards the ground. Maintain the strength in the spine. Pull the shoulder blades back. Lower down. Let's clasp the hands at the small of the back. As you squeeze the inner thighs together, you might feel your glutes engaging. And then just lift up as you clasp the hands at the small of the back. Tuck your chin under. Take 3 breaths. 2. And 1. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. And push back into a downward facing dog. Hope you're feeling better already. If you're sweating, you're detoxing, lightening the load on your immune system. Are you ready to take a few deep breaths out? Beautiful. Let all the tension that you're holding, the insecurities of not knowing what tomorrow brings, and enjoy the present moment of your health, of your space, of the energy that you're surrounded with. And whether you love it or you learn from it, there's always an opportunity to enjoy the present moment. Now bend your knees, jump, step, walk towards the front of the mat to lift up halfway to lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forwards, drop on down. Now press in towards the feet, rise up all the way towards the top. And release the hands by the side. I'm on a roll. Let's go. Stay nice and warm. I have my feet hip width apart for this as I come into chair pose. So reach the hands forward, drop your buttocks back, align your knees over your ankles. When you're ready, lift the arms. Take a deep breath in here. Shoot the tailbone down, engage your core, sit lower. Can you take another in breath and then sit a little bit lower? I hope your thighs are burning. Take an in breath and then come a little bit lower. Beautiful. Now press in towards your right leg as you lift your left leg up into stork pose. And then come on down. Chair pose. Slow as you work. Other side. Press the weight in towards the left leg as you reach your right leg up and come back into your chair. Alright, coming back into stork, lifting the left leg up. Now, come back in towards a lunge. Pull the right hip back, engage your pelvic floor, shoot your tailbone down. As you find balance, the world keeps turning. Let's reach the left leg back up into stork. Exhale in towards a lunge. Inhale, rise. Exhale in towards a lunge. Beautiful, guys. That was fun. Now, place your back heel down towards the ground. We're going to come into warrior 2. It's a beautiful pose for us to focus to know our stance, to find our stance. Make sure that the front knees align with the second and third toe. You can just see your big toe without moving your head. You're doing fine. All right. Release the left hand back towards the left thigh. The left leg is strong as you reach the right hand up and over into reverse warrior. Take another deep breath in here. Deep breath out. And then bring the hands parallel again. Shoot your hips backwards and reach forward into Trikonasana. So today, we're wanting to work towards the length of the spine, but also to the openness of the heart. So it's okay to lean backwards here a little bit today. Take another deep breath. Work the shoulder blades behind the heart. So as you ground to the feet more, this keeps your SI joints stable. You just open here to the front psoas, to the front obliques potentially. One more breath. And then slowly you can bend your front knee here. It's a beautiful stretch. Again, you need to ground to the feet to stay safe. Bring your right hand on a block behind the right foot and reach the left hand up. It's like you're going like throwing yourself in towards the world, in towards the situation that we're in. And celebrating it for whatever. Don't let me be sarcastic here, I'm not. Like, I understand that there's a lot of suffering, but why can't you celebrate that you're healthy right now, right? And then place your hands down towards the ground and pivot the back foot, step back down facing dog. Let's come back towards our center, high plank. And as you pull the shoulder blades back, keep them safe. Drop your knees gently, almost down towards the ground, and then just extend the legs backwards again, and then drop. So you're not moving much of the spine. That means your core is holding you in check, and we're just moving the knees. How many can we do? 10? Let's do 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, belly button in, 2. If you're holding tightness in your jaw, you've got to do another one. If you're holding tightness in your face, let's do another one for that. And then bring your knees down towards the ground, pull the shoulder blades back, lower down, thighs and pubic bone towards the earth. Roll the shoulders away, deep breath in. Deep breath out as you come down, tuck the toes under and push back to downward facing dog. Oh, does that feel good? Let's work into Anahata. I like to bring my feet a little bit wider, hands a little bit wider, and then push my heart towards the feet. Maybe the head comes down towards the ground. Working into opening up the back of the heart as we pull the shoulder blades together. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. Slowly walk the feet together. And however you can, step towards the front of the mat. You might jump, you might crawl by this stage, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, rise up into your chair pose. Exhale, stand up all the way, release the hands by the side. Inhale the hands up. Interlace all fingers at the top and place the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling. I know you can't see it, but that's how it looks, okay? Bend to one side. Come back towards the center, inhale. Exhale over towards the other side. Come back towards the center as you shoot your tailbone down. Clasp your hands at the small of the back. Lift and lengthen and drop down. Take a couple of moments here to release any tension. 3 more breaths. Lift the fist high, drop the head, the jaw. And then from here, bend your knees, come into your chair pose. Reach the hands forwards for now. Move your knees back. I like to imagine I have a block in between my thighs, squeezing the inner thighs together and then pulling them apart as if I have a strap around the knees as well. And then lift and lengthen through the chest, shoot your tailbone down so your core is engaged and sink a little bit lower. Breathing in on the exhale, can you come a little bit lower, lift the heart, drop the shoulders. And then from here, can we bring our weight in towards our left leg, reaching the right leg up. And then coming down into the lowest chair pose. Coming back up, other side. Beautiful. And then from here, one more time. Now we're staying on our left leg, reaching the right leg up. And on the exhale, we're stepping back in towards a lunge. So again, find your stability here. The pelvic floor, the tailbone down, the shoulders drop. Just as we get it, we're moving on. Keeping up, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, lunge. One more time. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, step back and towards your lunge. Find your balance. Pull your left hip back as you open up towards the side into warrior two. I'm just going to turn around so I can see that you can see me. Warrior two. Again, what was happening with the front knee, check with that. Is your back leg strong? You can go and check. I can't. I'm here in my living room. Okay. Hug the belly button in. Engage the pelvic floor slightly. Now from here, reverse the warrior. Take 3 breaths here. Keep pressing through the back leg, so you're lengthening through the right side as you lengthen through the left side automatically. And then come back towards the center, straighten your front leg, reach towards the front, tilt into Trikonasana. Here's your option to open your hip, your right hip, a little bit more. Sometimes I like to take my right hand and bring it over towards the left thigh so that that shoulder opens as well. Be mindful of your bottom leg and externally rotate the upper thigh a little bit. And then if you want a little bit more and you want to lean into it and you've got the balance, to open up through the obliques and through the hips as you ground through the feet. 3 more breaths. 2. And 1. Slowly coming back up. Placing both hands to either side of the front foot. Pivot the back foot. And no, that wasn't it. Okay. I'm going to bend our front knee. Bring the left hand just behind your left foot and reach your right hand up into like a side angle pose, which allows us to then dive a little bit deeper into a back bend and side angle pose. It's so beautiful. Keep charging through both legs. And then place both hands down towards the ground. From here, we're going to step back in towards a high plank, squeezing the inner thighs together. If you're getting tired, bring your knees down towards the ground. Come into a half chaturanga or a full upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, let's push back into a downward facing dog. Ground yourself in downward facing dog. Connect towards the earth. We're slowing down a little bit from here. Lift your right leg up in the air. On the exhale, hug the knee towards the nose as you bring the shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift and lengthen it again one time. Exhale, come on through. Second time should do. Bring it through. Drop your back knee down towards the ground. Now rise your hands up. My back heel is up. You can choose otherwise if you like. Release the left hand towards your thigh. If it's available for you, you might reach back into a little bit of a back bend here with the right hand, or with the left hand towards the heel and with the right hand up and towards the air. The idea here is to lift and lengthen through the chest. Taking another breath, pressing towards your front foot. And then come on back up. Right hand first up, left hand up, and then come on down. If you want, you now bend your back leg and reach around here just to bring the stretch a little bit more in towards the hips. So we open up the shoulders and the upper back, and now it's in towards the hip flexors as we're slowly moving into back bends. Now release the foot back down towards the ground. Step back into your downward facing dog. Round. Let's do the left leg. Left leg up in the air. Exhale, hug the knee towards the nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Now step it through. Second time should do. Right? Alright, from here, drop the back knee down towards the ground. Rise up and towards your lunge. You could sink more towards the front knee, but I want you to keep the hips parallel towards the earth. Pull your bottom rib in so that your transverse abdominis is engaged. And then from here you might reach the right hand back towards the right thigh, reaching the left hand up if you can. And if you find it, you might reach towards your right heel. The left hand reaches up high to maintain the length and the space that we need in towards the spine, while we're challenging it so much in this back bend. Keep your heart open, work the shoulders towards the ceiling. And then to come up, reach your left hand up first, then reach your right hand up. Place both hands down towards the ground. And then you might bring your left elbow or your left hand towards your left thigh to bend your right foot and sink lower in towards your hip flexors here. Just a few more breaths. I'm sweating. I wonder if you guys are. Release the hands down. Place them down towards the ground. Step back in towards a high plank for now. If you want to, you can drop your knees down towards the ground. That should be the easier option. Or bring the feet together. Come with the left hand up. Right hand, right foot on the ground. Come on down. Half turn around up. Pushing back up. And over towards the other side. If you chose the easy option, you might do a dip in the middle with the shoulders. Lengthen. Woo. Come on down. We're still laughing here. And over towards the other side. Then come back towards your high plank. Drop your knees down towards the ground. Everyone, reset your shoulders. Drop down. Bring your thighs and pubic bone towards the ground. Lift and lengthen through the chest. Roll the shoulder blades away from your ears. Then drop the head down as we prepare for a low bow. I hope you can see this. You might hold one foot, you might hold both feet while your forehead is on the ground. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Lift and lengthen through the chest. As you keep your head down towards the ground, you might lift your knees off the ground, your thighs off the ground. If you want a little bit more, and you worked into length, then you might lift your chest off the ground as well. Try not to pull your chin too high. Keep it in line with the back of the neck. Pull the shoulder blades back and allow your feet to kick in. And then slowly come on down. Place the hands underneath the shoulders and come into a seated position. And move forward here a little bit as I tuck my toes under. I hope you can see this. Tuck my toes under. All 10 toes are looking towards the front. And then drop my knees down towards the ground. And I sit on my heels. This is a pose where people feel like their toes are falling off. Hasn't happened yet. All right. It's a new world. So let's bring the hands forward. The right elbow goes underneath the left. You might find the back of the hands, you might find the palms of the hands depending on your flexibility. Lift your elbows high, drop your shoulders low, and move the hands away from your face into Garuda arms. What a nice stretch throughout the toes, isn't it? Now, drop the elbows down, release the hands, reach the hands up high, place them down towards the ground with a smile on the face, tap your toes on the ground, release them. Lucky we've got another side to go, so all 10 toes looking towards the front. Drop your knees back down towards the ground, reach the hands forward. This time it's the left elbow under the right elbow over. Lift and lengthen through the elbows, drop the shoulders down and move your hands away from your crown of the head. I find I need to reset here a little bit, lifting the elbows, dropping the shoulders, moving away. Relax. This beautiful stretch to the back of the heart. And release the hands by the side again, reaching up. And place them down. Well done, guys. So here we're going to move into camel pose, and I'm going to show you from the side. I want you to tuck your toes, even though if you're experienced. Hold the hands at the small of the back. I want every one of us just to squeeze the inner thighs and lean backwards. Just leaning backwards, so no back bend. Spine stays long. Then move the shoulder blades away from your ears. Yeah, show your heart, yeah? And then you might bring your left hand towards your left heel and reach the right hand up. Reach it just up, not back. That's it. And then see if that hand comes down towards the gum and the left hand reaches up. And then just alternate. Exhale. Inhale. If you feel it in your lower back, you need to shift your hips further forward. Lean a little bit further back so you feel it in the quads. Yeah? And shoot your tailbone towards the knees. If you still feel it, come out of it. It's not worth it. Yeah? So this is a stronger practice. Challenging our bodies, challenging our mind. Are we ready to go there? To come out of this, place your hands in towards the lower back. Lift and lengthen through the chest. Release your feet and sit down on towards your heels. Now, let's come into a seated position. Extend the right leg out, or advanced, you might bring the right leg up and underneath the hip. Bring your right foot over towards the left thigh. I hope you can see this, yes. Reach the hands up and reach your right hand forward and your left hand back. So you should be in a close twist. You're twisting towards your thigh and then gently dropping down. So you're not twisting a lot more. Okay, other than different. Now lift, other than normal, other than different. Everything is different than it was, isn't it? Okay, let's lift our hips up and move them back a little bit. Ooh, is that nice? Gives another stretch to the hips. And breathe. So each in-breath could be an expression of you to fill your heart, to fill your lungs. And every exhale, an expression of letting go of the worry away from the shoulders, from the jaw, from the tension, which we all have. We all have, and potentially more though in this time. Acknowledge, and let it go. Let's rise up and high. Strong and long. Release the hands down. Place the feet hip-width apart. The fingers can go out towards the side. Again, I think I need to just adjust the camera so you guys can see. There we go. You can see my sweat. Okay. So the hands are now pointing advanced towards the towards the buttocks, or out towards the side. Out towards the side will help to bring the shoulder blades closer together. Traditionally, you have the fingers pointing towards your toes. See what is right for you, whatever. Before you attempt this position, make sure that the shoulder blades are behind your heart, you're supported. Now press them towards your feet and your hands equally. Shift your tailbone towards the knees. Keep pulling the shoulder blades together. Maybe you release your head back. Tabletop, reverse tabletop. Ah, so beautiful. All right, and then slowly tuck the chin in. Bring your buttocks down and come into a seated position. All right, twisting towards the opposite side. Now we're going to hug the left knee in, bring it over towards the right leg. If it's available for you, oh no, it's at the other side. Left leg out, right leg up and over. This is it. Okay, so this is how you potentially sit. So the left leg is on top and in front, the right leg is underneath. Let's rise the hands up high. And then reach the left hand forward and the right hand back. So just know that you're looking now towards the opposite side and that you're reaching your hands wide and that you're looking towards your top thigh. And then from here, you'll land. You might pull the right hip back a little bit more and look over your back shoulder. Every time you breathe in, you find the length in the spine. Every time you breathe out, you let go of tension in the shoulders. And there went the phone. I'm so apologizing. There we go. All right. Then slowly come back towards the center, long and strong through the spine. Place the hands on either side, lengthen the legs out, and then bend the knees. Or keep them long if you feel really advanced. We're going to come into a tabletop, either the fingertips towards the buttocks, out towards the side. Make sure that your shoulders stay that your shoulder blades stay behind your shoulders, lift and lengthen into tabletop with extended legs or bent legs. Lift your hips, pull the shoulder blades back, keep your heart open, your core strong, your tailbone towards the feet or the knees. And then slowly come on back down. All done. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Nice and long through the spine. Going to finish off with some easy poses. So now we're going to lay back down. Press the feet in towards the earth, hip width apart. Lift and lengthen through the chest and wiggle the shoulder blade under. So in an ideal world, your spine wouldn't be on the ground, just your shoulders, your arms, your feet, and the back of the head. And then you find some length. If you hear this whistling in the background, this is like a study tool from Nora. So excuse that. I'm giving my best in isolation to bring yoga to you. And then slowly come on back down here. Bring one hand towards the heart, one hand towards the belly. And just connect with your energies and how open and free you are with what you experience in the present moment. And then here's an opportunity for you to check in what is right for you. More challenge, less challenge. The easiest way would be to put a block or something similar at the sacrum and just lift your hips up. If you love challenge, you can come into wheel. If you want to just have an easy bridge, just a nice way of releasing through the nervous system. Make it easy, but make it authentic and make it right so that you feel like you have space in this pose. Or if you want to join us for a wheel, do it safely. Squeeze the inner thighs together, send your tailbone towards the knees, press and push up, and then you find that length particularly through the lower back again. So squeezing the knees together, shooting the tailbone towards the knees, wiggling the shoulder blades behind the heart, and breathe. You don't have to stay here. You could stay here for another 3 breaths. Opening up through the chest, opening up through the hip flexors. And then slowly come on down. From here, hug the knees towards the armpits. When you hug the knees towards the armpits, ideally you feel your hips staying on the ground, so don't move the hips off the ground. And just take a few breaths here to lengthen your spine. Maybe you wiggle from side to side. Feel how your middle back particularly is being acknowledged in this pose. Now place your feet down towards the ground, buttocks towards the left. Hug the knees in towards the chest and bring them over towards the right. Your left arm comes out. The right arm towards the opposite position. T position arms. Take a few moments here to breathe. Twists are just a wonderful way of letting go. Letting go of old patterns. Letting go of old stuff, whether it's physically or emotionally. And then slowly hug the knee back in towards the chest again, squeezing the thighs together. Feel how your middle back fully connects towards the earth. And then place your feet down towards the ground to move your buttocks into the opposite direction. So off center towards the right. Hug the knees in and bring them over towards the left. And then open up your arms to a T position, looking towards your right hand, closing your eyes if that feels comfortable. And just reconnecting with your breath as an opportunity for mindfulness. What comes into your mind, what have you consumed over the last few weeks or last few days, what still plays on your mind, what still plays in your body, what plays with your emotions. And the more aware that we become, the more we can fill ourselves with stuff that is more nourishing for us, more nurturing for us. I'm hesitant to tiptoe around to what is not serving me, but rather gravitate to the things that serve me, us. So you feel like you're not missing out, but you're just replacing what wasn't serving you with something that is so much more beneficial. And I started this journey with food. I have probably extended it to all areas of my life. An amazing way of making life rich, colourful, not necessarily easier. Slowly come back towards the centre. Feel your middle back on the ground. Gently place your feet down towards the ground. If you feel like a happy baby pose, go ahead. It's a fantastic way of finishing a practice. Connecting with your motion, working through the hips. Place your tailbone towards the ground as much as possible. And then slowly hug the knees in towards the chest. Place them down towards the earth with core strength. And as you release the tension in your body, in your mind, in the intensity of the breath, find a way of sinking deeper in towards the support of the earth. And just listen to the music. Surrender into the music, as music is a fantastic way of changing our mindset, our emotions, and even the vibrations in ourselves. Much love. Namaste.